Galatians 4:4 says, when the fullness of time has come. The timing, well, the very first Christmas, that's what time it was. Galatians 4:4, when the fullness of time has come, God sent forth his Son, the fullness of time. The fullness of time is an expression of God's perfect timing, that God on the right time, the perfect time, sent forth his Son, sent forth the Redeemer. And somebody has once said that history is really his story, and that's absolutely true, that God from the very beginning has had this plan of redemption that we see throughout the scriptures and throughout time, all the way back to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. We discover there the very first prophecy of the Messiah at that time. It says that the seed of a woman would bruise the head of the serpent. That's the first prophecy. That's the first prophecy from all the way through the Old Testament, through the prophets, through the law, through the Exodus, all the way through Israel's captivities, everything. We have this plan of God's redemption, that God, he chose the perfect time to send forth his Redeemer, our Savior. You might be thinking, well, why didn't God send his Redeemer earlier or sooner? Why not after the flood? Why not after Adam and Eve sinned for the very first time? Why not after when Cain and Abel got in that fight and Cain killed Abel? Why did God, it seems like he waited so long to send his Messiah to the earth? Well, God has his perfect timing. When the fullness of time had come, it's interesting actually to see the timing that our Redeemer did come, that Jesus did come to planet Earth. When he was born in that manger, that very first Christmas, there was a period of time where the world was just disenfranchised with the political system, with the religious system, with everything that was going on in the world at that time. There was what was known at that time as Pax Romana, or Roman peace. You see, Rome had come and they had bludgeoned the whole world into submission, that every man really was a slave to Rome at that time. And so there was this fake peace, there was this forced peace, there was this fake unity, and the whole world was kind of under this at that whole time. The second thing about the timing that Jesus came into the world that first Christmas was the Roman roads. You see, Rome had paved, or they had built so many roads at that time that it was around 250,000 miles of road, 50,000 of which were actually paved. And so if you were to go to Israel, even to this day, you would find the roads that are paved there directly from the Roman Empire at this time that Jesus walked them. And so they had this road system, they had the peace system, they had all of these things kind of converging together. And how fitting it is that Jesus, our Messiah, came at the time when all of the roads kind of fit together and the gospel could get out to the world around them. And so there was also what was known as the common language, or Koine Greek. Koine Greek, many people spoke this. It was a common language, and so the gospel could be spread. And so you had the roads, you had the spiritual vacuum of the peace, you had the common language, all of these things. And so there was just this sense of disenfranchisement by the world as well, because the religious system is really letting the people down. The religion of the Jews, the religion of the Romans, the religion of the Gentiles had become empty and vain, and the culture was wicked. And so Rome, they had their philosophers. Rome, they had their politicians. Rome, they had conquered the whole world. Their Caesars were claiming themselves to be Messiah or saviors, and they were demanding the people to actually worship them. And so the world was hollow, the world was dark, the world was wicked, and so the people were just crying out for a savior, a true savior at that time. The expectation of Messiah was at a fever pitch. And so at just the right time, at the fullness of time, God sent forth his Son, sent the Redeemer. You know what? Remember during this Christmas season that God is always, always on time. Sometimes we think that God is late. Sometimes we think that God isn't answering our prayers. But listen, God always answers our prayers on time, His timing, and He always does it in the perfect timing. And so He sends His Savior to us in those moments when we are feeling disenfranchised, when we are feeling dark, when we are feeling down, when we are feeling like the whole world around us has let us down. God, in His perfect timing, has given us His Son that we might believe in Him and have everlasting life in Him. And during this Christmas season, that is our greatest gift that we can possibly ever know or have. God bless you, and Merry Christmas.